Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to a Valentine's Day special where we are joined from our very good friends, William and Norma. And Rita and I are here just kind of sharing the love. So Rita came to me and said, I want to do some cooking classes together. And this is what we decided to do. And this is our second class for Valentine's Day. And we thought, what better way to share love but to bring another couple that is just nothing but pure love, just as we are. And really, this show is about receiving love, and we are really here just to be. And so today we're going to be making. What are we making today?
So raw brownies. So this could be raw in the sense that we're not baking it, but could also be raw in the sense that all the ingredients are raw and unprocessed. So it works both ways.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
So William Michael Forbes and Norma Jones, they are spiritual mediums, intuitive life coaches, and teachers. So there's lots of information in the description. You guys want to say anything?
Just welcome to this. It's all really beautiful this time to have couples come together and bring that unity energy out for everybody. So for those of you that are watching, I'm pretty sure you're going to be picking up some of the vibes of what it is to be in a relationship that's fulfilling and happy and where you work together with your partner. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I also just want to share the love. I think that this is such an important time in all of our lives that we come from the heart. We come from love and share the love with everyone around us. And yeah.
Love is a vibration that needs to dominate the planet now.
Yes.
Absolutely. We feel that, and that's what we're doing. So this is an example of casting love. So even if you sit here, it's not even about the recipe. Just sit here and absorb the love and open yourselves up and breathe and accept. Because that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Love.
And yet we do promise that we will taste the recipe for you because somebody has to do it.
It's true. It's a tough job, but someone has
I'll
to
let
do
you
it.
know.
Is the recipe going to be available for everybody?
The recipe, yes, thanks for bringing that up, William. The recipe is available in the description right now. So if you look on the channel that you're viewing right now, look at the description and a link to Rita's website, oasishealth.ca, and I think it's simply raw chocolate brownie, so something like that. Anyways, the link is in the description, so if anybody wants to follow along and enjoy. Yeah.
Awesome.
So what do you say? Ready, ladies?
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
All right.
To the kitchen.
Raw.
Rah, rah, ooh la la.
Awesome.
You're good.
Ready for us?
All right.
Okay, so this is really, like most of my recipes, very simple. So you will need a food processor. It won't work in a Vitamix. It's food processor. You'll really need a food processor for this recipe, but super simple. Only a few ingredients. So we've got dates, we've got walnuts. We're gonna use some raw cocoa powder and vanilla if you want to use vanilla, or you can use a vanilla pod. That's it. That's the recipe. So actually I'm gonna get you to.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so get you to get started. Okay, so we'll start with, I guess you can put the nuts.
Okay, the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing, okay. So this is walnuts, but you can use a combination of. I've used walnuts and pecans and it tastes great. So you can, you can probably use nuts and seeds. So whatever you have available.
Right.
And these are not roasted or anything like that. They're raw. Okay,
Perfect.
and then we're gonna add dates.
Okay.
How much dates is that?
Yeah, how much
So
dates?
a cup and a half of dates and two and a half cups of nuts.
Okay.
Now, were the nuts soaked beforehand?
I didn't soak them. You could soak them, but in this case, we didn't soak them. And then the dates, sometimes you have to soak the dates depending on how soft they are or how hard they are. So I'm using I'll show you some examples. So I'm using these dates here, which are pretty soft. So I can basically take it apart with my finger, take the pit out, and so I don't need to soak these. Whereas, these ones are super hard. I can't even pull it apart with my fingers. So I would either chop them up and pit it, or soak them first, then pit it, and then do what we're doing here.
So they should be of a consistency that you could squeeze them.
Yeah.
So chewy.
Chewy. You want them chewy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to be too hard to process, and
Right.
you'll just be processing for a long time, and it won't be as good. So
Right.
if you have ones that are a little bit drier, then yes, soak them. If you're using softer dates, then you won't need to do the soaking.
And how long would you soak them for?
You can soak it overnight. You can soak
Okay.
it for a few hours. If you're doing it overnight, just use regular like room temperature water.
Right.
If you're kind of like in a rush, then you could use a little bit of warmer water.
Okay.
That way it still stays as a raw food.
Right. Right. Okay. So how do you know what's the right temperature? Like if you put your kettle on and then put it in a cup and let it cool. If you put your finger in, what should it feel?
So it should be 118 degrees or less. So I have a thermometer that I can put, like a candy thermometer that I can put in. So I don't know about, finger test. I probably warm, but what does that mean to everybody? I don't know. So 118 degrees or less. So you could probably do like half a cup of boiling water and then half a cup of like room temperature water, and then that would probably be perfect temperature.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Okay, what else do we need? We need cocoa powder. So half a cup. So we're using raw cocoa powder. So this is where the cocoa bean or the cacao bean hasn't been heated and processed.
And it has a lot of nutrients in it as well, doesn't it?
Right, very high magnesium, iron.
I'll just put in here as well. And the agave too?
That's for the icing. So so the sugar really is coming from the dates. That's the sweetness.
Right.
It's all dates.
Okay.
Right. And then we can. So depending on how raw you want to be, this is obviously not considered raw. I don't think.
What is that?
This is vanilla. So I would just use it for flavor. But if you want to be totally raw, then you can just get a vanilla pod, split it open, take out the vanilla seeds, put that in there, and then that. So
Right.
I don't know if you have a choice.
Yeah, let's go with the regular.
Right. Yes. Cool. So I guess, but I would say like a teaspoon or so. But
Okay. Go. I like
there you
vanilla.
go. Yeah.
A tad more, no?
Sure. Can't go wrong, can you?
Not with vanilla.
There's no alcohol in here, right?
No. All right. So then food processing is on. We're gonna make a little bit of
I'm
noise.
just gonna mute
So
it.
it's
Okay, so we're processing it. So if you had soaked your dates before, then you can use some leftover water to help bind this even more. And since we didn't use water to soak the dates, I'm just going to add a little bit of water. So basically we want to process it until it all comes together. So right now, if we were to open it and look at it, it would be very crumbly and very hard to press into your pan or baking pan or whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to add like a little bit of water at a time and just keep processing. And there you go. So take this off.
yeah, so it started to like come together.
Right. Yeah. So you want to be able to when you pick it up. I'm gonna use my fingers. Sorry. So when you press it together, it should stay together. Okay.
Oh,
Smells good, Norma.
smells so good.
Okay. So actually, I'm gonna do it. Actually, let's do it a little bit longer. Can you guys? You probably can't see inside. If I do this, can you see inside?
Yeah.
Kind of. Not really.
A little bit.
Okay.
Try this camera.
Try
That works.
Okay. So my thought is I'm just going to process it maybe 30 seconds more.
Okay.
Just sort of I'll show you this, what was left over. So before you could kind of still see the walnut pieces. Can you see that? No?
Yeah.
And
Under.
yeah, and now it's
Now it's more like
now it's more like a brownie.
Yeah, it's a
consistency,
brownie.
right?
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
smaller pieces. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. That's the recipe. So that at this point you put it into a container. So I usually use a loaf pan that's lined with parchment paper. Today we're going to use Valentine's Day hearts because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. And yeah, just use a spoon or your fingers and just fill the mold. And there's no refrigeration necessary. These are pretty much basically ready to eat. So there's that. So at this point, you can eat them the way they are, or you can add a little bit of icing to make it a little bit more fun. What do you think?
I vote icing.
I
Vote
Definitely icing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move
Healthy
this
cheers.
aside. So,
Even better. Oops.
okay.
Right.
Okay, now we have a whole new set of ingredients to talk about. Okay, so this recipe also needs some sort of. You could probably use a hand mixer. I'm just going to use my little food processor, except I'm missing the blade. So give me a second.
You guys want to go over
Yeah,
this?
you want to chat?
Pardon me?
You guys could chat for a minute?
So this is why we're not allowed in the kitchen.
Yeah.
At least I'm not. Anytime Rita watches me trying to make something, it's very frustrating how slow and clumsy I am. It just takes over.
I really like the idea of using the dates as a sweetener, because we use them as a sweetener when we do foods like this too.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, compared to like processed foods, there's so many natural sweeteners out there that we can really have. The earth has supplied everything to us.
Absolutely.
It's so beautiful.
Stevia is another really good one too.
Stevia is. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I know. Apparently there's a new stevia they've made. They're just getting everything ready for the next stage here.
It's a little bit scary, but let's just see. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Kira. Yolanda. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Great.
This is Valentine's. But yeah, natural sugars like dates, really good. Stevia, organic agave, maple syrups. Honey is another really good one too. Organic raw, unpasteurized honey is really good.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that the girls are getting a little bit closer here to be ready. So almost
There's a lot
there.
of changes. A lot of changes going on.
I know. And let's talk about the importance of being high vibe right now. Maybe you can comment on having these good foods in your life. What do you think?
Absolutely. Again, right now, vibration is crucial, especially when you consider that what you think and feel organizes your experiences. So food and water are really important for your body to be a good instrument for communicating information through and receiving information. As of course, in classes.
Yeah.
People can learn to change their vibration by what they eat, what they think, and how they move.
Yeah, and I'm finding that, especially now as we're shifting over, and how the energies are opening, but there's also such a divide or a war between, let's say, opening being fearful and loving.
Yeah.
Between
Well,
the two.
that's a good point, because that's really the two things that are not. There's either love or fear. It can't be both.
Yeah.
There's one or the other.
That's it. So I think our little interlude is almost done. You ladies ready?
I think so.
Okay.
I can do it if you don't mind.
Okay. So no more. So you got rid of the mixer?
Okay, couldn't find my little blade. I don't know where it is. So we're going to use my hand mixer option instead. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, so the icing again, pretty simple. It's 3 ingredients. This is coconut. It's not coconut oil. It's called coconut. They call it manna, but it's basically pureed coconut. It's like coconut butter is another name for it when you're buying it on the shelf. And it's really just pureed coconut. It's very thick. It's not coconut oil, and you can smell it. It's just pure coconut.
Yeah, creamed coconut.
Yes. So depending on how dry it is, so it pretty much melts, not melts, but it will soften at room temperature or if you warm it up a bit. So if this was really, really dry, I could just put it over top like a cup of tea, like hot water, just to kind of soften it up a bit. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this will work fine at the temperature it's at.
Okay.
That's just half a cup of that.
I've never had that before.
It's so good.
I mean,
coconut.
coconut.
Yeah, it's coconut, yeah. So not many people know about the coconut butter.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna,
So wait,
yeah.
what's the difference between coconut butter and coconut oil?
So coconut oil is just the fat of the coconut, whereas coconut butter is like the coconut meat.
The meat.
The meat. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, how about that coconut taste? You know, because you don't want everything tasting like coconut.
So in this case, it's going to have a coconut taste because that's what it is.
Right.
Coconut oil, you can get coconut oil, like virgin coconut oil, which will have like a coconut taste to it, or you can get like a refined coconut oil, which is like cold pressed refined, which has less of the coconut taste, so better
But
for baking.
But I heard the word refined, which is kind of like the taboo
Yeah.
word.
It's a taboo word, absolutely. Yeah, so refined in the sense that they use like a steaming process to they steam the oil, and then by doing it somehow that reduces the smell of the coconut or the
Okay.
taste of the coconut smell.
But how about the quality? Like, I mean, in terms of like when you think about processed foods compared to unprocessed, now there's refined and unrefined.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about coconut oil that's been refined.
If I were baking, I'd probably use refined because at the end of the day, we're gonna denature it anyways because we're heating it, right? So if I'm making cupcakes or something and I need an oil, that's my oil that I go to. But using virgin coconut oil and then heating it to that temperature, sort of denaturing it. So
See.
that's why I would choose the refined in that case. But if I'm doing something raw or if I'm cooking on the stove, then I would use the virgin coconut oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Great. Love it.
Okay, so just the
Yes.
coconut butter, and then raw agave syrup or whatever sweetener you have available. You can use maple syrup. You can use, I guess, raw honey if you're not vegan, like totally vegan. Trying to think if there was another raw liquid sweetener that I can think of, but those are the agave is probably the most popular, I have to say, so that comes to mind. But when you're buying agave syrup, it has to say raw on the product.
So we have a question from Lindsay,
Yeah.
and she's asking if ghee is processed and not recommended for raw cooking.
So ghee, yeah, the process of making ghee is heating it for long periods of time. So it's not considered raw, but it is considered a health product, like a healthy food.
Yeah, but it is butter, isn't it?
It's butter. It's
Yeah.
clarified butter.
Yeah. Where it separates, and also ghee can last for a very long
Yes.
period of time. Like
Yeah.
how many years? Like years.
Yeah, in Ayurvedic medicine, they use ghee for so many
Yes.
things. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's considered a medicinal food.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just depends on your level of, when we're talking raw, like what you're comfortable with. If you want to be
Yes.
100% raw, then I would say ghee would not be considered 100% raw,
Yeah.
but still a valuable food.
Yes.
Okay. So now Nikki's asking what William and I are going to be making. We're going to be making it on digestion.
We're going to be making our taste buds work.
It's all about it's Claire Gustance with our taste buds. Spiritual channeling.
I was always about to ask you if it's a clarified product, do you understand it better?
Maybe
Boo.
it does something to help us clarify it. Okay, and then
That's
the
why I'm
last,
not in the kitchen.
last ingredient is coconut flour. So again, it's just coconut that's been brought down to a flour. And using it to give it a little bit of texture and flavor.
And how much do you put then?
This is just quarter cup.
Okay.
And this is also what I use sometimes instead of icing sugar on top of. So if you wanted to decorate the top of a cookie or the top of this,
Oh,
and you
right.
don't want to make an icing, you could just take this, put it
Right.
in a little
Oh.
sifter or
Yeah.
colander, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and just sprinkle it over top. And then you've got your little white, and
Right.
it's something different, and it's good.
Yes.
And it's not icing sugar.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly. Okay.
More
So
than
I've
that.
not used this
Not
before.
sure how much-
That's it. Tested.
so we're not sure how messy this is going to be, but let's
Yes.
find out.
Okay.
Is that what Norma's
Let's not do that then.
That's
Did you have a specific comment to show?
I'll start by hand, and then once I incorporate all the flour.
I'm
it
sure
should
it
make
will work
easier.
out fine.
Are you sure?
No.
I'll hold it. How's that?
Okay, I'm afraid. Okay, you did.
Yeah.
And she's had experience before with this.
That's why Rita doesn't let me in the kitchen.
Getting there. So basically, again, food processor would have been a better choice, but basically we're just gonna try and mix it until it becomes nice and creamy. So it needs a little bit more time, obviously, but even with my spoon just pressing on it, it's already, I can already see it.
I can do some mixing like that.
Sure.
So you know that works. My mama taught me this. Oh, it smells so good.
So Vanna is saying Vitamix makes amazing coconut butter, organic coconut
Yeah.
flakes, or shredded and internal.
Yeah,
Right.
Look at that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent. Thanks, Vanna.
Great one.
yeah, I could imagine that it would be pretty much the same thing, right?
True, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, looks good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, what should we do? Should we decorate together or leave this mess behind? Or
Yeah, let's decorate together.
let's decorate together. Okay, so
Okay, so you guys gonna be coming over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time for our musical interlude.
Musical interlude.
So while the ladies are getting ready, we're getting our taste buds ready.
We are getting our taste buds ready.
It'll be fun.
so
So we're really curious about how the decorating is going to be. So this is where our creative side gets to come out and play.
Oh, so we're gonna be decorating too?
I think
Oh, that's good.
well, that's
So
right
these are
here.
independent raw
let's do this.
cupcakes.
That's right.
Perfect.
Independent, raw,
Let's do
and
this.
free-willed cupcakes.
Last one.
Once was lost and now I'm found.
Oh, and you
There we
want
go.
butter side up.
It landed
Right.
right.
Yeah, butter side up.
Wow, they look delicious.
Put it over
Do you
here.
Yeah.
need to have the flowers?
You can see, yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. Another one here that's more. This one's more chocolatey than that other one. See that? Doesn't that look good? Oh yeah. It's a big little chocolate heart. Beautiful.
Perfect. Is there a reason why my glands are just salivating right now?
Oh, I know.
I just can't stop swallowing.
Yeah, body does its own thing, right? Food.
It's very happy
Eat,
right
sleep, procreate. That's it.
now.
No, I mean, like,
It's getting very exciting.
oh no.
Really grateful you guys have joined us today.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for coming in. We'll welcome the girls back in now. Thank you, girls.
Yeah, that was fun.
With minimal mess.
Yeah.
All right, Rita, take us away.
So, like I was saying, I made these earlier. So this is where I just took my little, what do you call this?
Sifter?
Sifter. I put my coconut flour in, just did this over top. So if I didn't want to go through the exercise of doing the icing, we could just do that. Or you can just leave it plain.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
Now this is all walnuts and dates,
and
and
cocoa.
then coconut. So it's very simple, It also looks really rich.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yes,
this,
it
like,
is.
this is like a meal in itself.
it
It's-
is. It's it's the
Well, the other 4-year-old in me is going like,
yeah. I want. So actually, you're gonna move this over there. I don't think we need this anymore. And then icing wise, so we could have done a little bit better if I had my little food processor. But anyway, so then icing wise, you're just gonna spread it over top. I don't have the right utensil with me right now.
No, another spoon.
Actually, it's called. What's it called?
Well, I have to tell you right now, my tummy's like saying, feed me. It smells so good, and they look so good.
Okay,
I
so
can't wait to try it.
there we go. Oh,
so then
smash it.
Right.
yeah, just put it. That's it. Just kind of decorate the top the way you want. So, anyways, if we had it in, so I normally do it in like a loaf pan, so it's
Right.
nice and flat, and then you can just put the icing, and you can just make it nice and flat, and then you
Right.
cut it into like your squares. We're trying
Yes.
to be a little bit fancy here,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So we're doing little hearts.
So
not
would it
as
be
cute.
better to put it into a flat pan and then use a cutout?
Yeah, if you don't
Have you put
have
the cutter?
like if you don't have a silicone pan and you wanted to do like heart shapes or some other kind of heart shape, yeah, you can just put it onto like a parchment paper and then do your cutouts. That would work too.
It's-
Mhm.
I love that it can be made so quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You got that. He says it looks amazing.
Mm.
It does looks and smells amazing. Yeah. Settle down. Oh, Marlene, I thought you were on my side. Unfortunately, you just know me so well, right? You called me out. And let's see. And Lisa says, Rita, you are so talented coming up with these wonderful recipes for us. Oh,
Mm.
that's true. So nice.
I'm gonna talk about actually, let me do these two. So I'm gonna talk about two other things. So these are things that you can hide into these little brownies.
Oh, right.
Beet powder,
Right.
one
Yeah.
teaspoon equals a beet. One beet. So you
Wow.
can actually just
Eat a beet with your cupcake.
right? So you can sneak it in. If you
Wow.
have kids or husbands, you can just sneak it into your food.
Yeah.
And they'll
That's
never know. So beet powder comes in very handy. Anything that's kind of cocoa flavored, it hides it well. So you don't even know what's in there.
Well,
And then the other product I wanted to talk about was like maca powder. So maca
Oh,
powder,
yeah.
Valentine's Day. Black maca is supposed to help the male libido, and the red, I believe, is supposed to help female libido. So this is something we could have added into our brownies today too.
We did.
We did. So yeah. So just things that you can also add to your.
your meal.
Beautiful. So, anything else? Sorry.
Oh, just one thing with the beet powder, because I always used to love red velvet cake, but it's just like that type of sugar, and I've always wanted to make it, but I haven't yet. Do you have any? Have you
Yeah,
made
that-
it with the red beet
With the red
powder?
beet powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
decrease the cocoa powder, and then you put beet powder, and then that kind of lightens it, so it's not too chocolatey, and it's never gonna be like red, even if you just use straight beet powder. But
Right.
that's it. Just lower the cocoa, put
Right.
some beet powder.
Nice.
You get the job done.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
what's next?
Taste.
Taste.
I'll
Taste
taste.
test.
That's good. All
With
right.
or without
I'm gonna
icing.
taste.
Yeah.
I'll try a little bit of
A
each.
little bit of each. Hey, we should probably get some fork or a spoon or something on here. Or just use that. Okay. We're
Oh,
good.
okay. So we're good.
Yeah, we're
we're
good.
good.
We'll just cut it like this.
Rita's all about efficiency.
All right.
Yes. See, look at that.
Everybody just salivating so
Yeah,
much.
I know,
right?
it's
Well, you just made
amazing.
these are 4 chambers of the human heart.
There you go. See?
Perfect.
Okay.
Wow.
Guess
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the icing part
Me
first.
too.
'Cause it just says eat me.
Yeah, me too.
And first.
Okay. I wish I could just push this through to you guys to taste.
Obviously, your mouths are full. So if you could whistle right now, I'll give you $1,000. I was talking to Norma.
Wow.
So good.
They're not really good. They're amazing. They're so full of flavor. It fills the whole palate. It has that real sweetness that our bodies crave, but it's not in a manner that feels like you're gonna crash with it. Like you could eat them. It's lovely. So good.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Small bites, yeah, that's right.
Right, yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, they're really dense, so you don't need a lot.
No.
Like, you could eat one of those yourself, and that's your snack for
Mm.
the day or half a day at least. Anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can see that. I'm afraid to eat it.
No, I can't just hold back. I'm gonna have to try one more
Try
piece
one
here.
with that.
Enjoy.
Okay.
So good.
There we go.
So with that, while William's eating here, when's our next show? I don't know when we have our next shows.
I'm not sure. I think we're going to try a pretzel one in March. Pretzel Day.
Yeah, so there's a National Pretzel Day. So we're following all the national holidays. So National Pretzel Day.
That'll be fun.
We'll see what happens with that one.
Gluten-free.
Yeah, gluten-free,
Gluten-free
dairy-free,
pretzels.
wheat-free. It's
Hi, everyone.
all good. Yeah. And then how about you guys? What's William? So everyone knows William Michael Forbes and Norma. They are teachers and spiritual mediums and educators. So you are on daily. Or was it Monday,
Wednesday, Friday. Shortcuts for your soul, and then Saturday the meditation.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, shortcuts for your soul. William channels
What
in various
time?
beings.
10 a.m. in the morning.
And
Monday,
10
Wednesday,
a.m.
Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Pardon me. And Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well.
Right. And right now, you guys are in the middle of a big course. So what are you teaching right now?
Right now, we're launching our advanced mediumship program. It's a masterclass actually on becoming your highest self. Basically, liberating yourself from the old human paradigm and being free to do what you came here to do, to discover what that is.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I've been taking William and Norma's courses for almost a year now. And I'm just enthralled by everything in every class I've done. That. He has the 101, the 102, the 103. The 101 is coming up soon.
Yeah.
And every time I've done it 4 times now. And even though you think the material is going to be the same, I've been there, done that, it's different every time. So I really encourage you to come learn from William and Norma on there. And when does the 101 start?
March the 5th, I think, is the start date of the next 101.
March 5th. Okay, so check out the description. There is a link to williammichaelforbes.com, and you can sign up for any of the courses and sign up for any of the mediumship. And that's anything else you guys
Do you
want to
want to
share?
add anything to that?
No, but we'd love to have you. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They're wonderful program. It'll change you.
Yeah. And this Wednesday, Divine Soul Awakening, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, we have Diana Dolce with us, who is an author, she is a water specialist, a hydration specialist, and she's going to be walking through water fasting and the benefits to use water fasting to open up your spiritual gifts. That's going to be really good to talk about that. And of course, Friday is channeling Eric again and friends. So we are here to channel your questions on Friday. And that's really about it. Anything else we need to say?
No, just thank you everybody for showing up today. Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you,
Colin and
everyone.
Rita, for having us here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
But you can all see what we're going to be doing. Yeah, you see what we'll be doing shortly.
That's
Will
it.
really likes them, as you
Yeah,
can
they're
see.
really, really good.
And Lisa says salving on their end. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so glad you were here with us on it, and Marlene and everyone else. And thank you. And Kira says, sorry she couldn't make it to the 104 right now, but we're going to see. The timing's right. It's all about divine timing.
Yeah.
That's right.
So do not be hard on yourself. Everything is meant for a reason. And if it wasn't meant to be, it's not meant to be, and honor that with you. So it's all about focusing on the successes that you have going on. It's not about the negative. It is about love. And that's what all this is about. Love and focusing on the positive. So with that, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Thanks,
Happy
everyone, for
Valentine's.
showing up.
Bye.
Nice to see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Love you.